boy. Ana ba oroko. Iya kongwe. Wowa na ose. Ose. Suivi na blessing pen kama ngomo obetule os. Bakojo.
Donne moi pas ma setilo, il a couché bébé oh mon kelou.
Ouais. Yem se mara tenu ka pikina so sobu. Non na dia top. Oso de bio.
Ma chérie belle oh, il body pikino matou.
Ouais. Bébé la soa ba, papa ngeki.
Et belle chérie,
et belle moi, et belle chérie,
et belle chérie,
et belle moi, et belle chérie. Et belle moi, et belle chérie,
et belle chérie,
et belle moi,
Hai polo, hai polo, hai polo, hai polo.
et belle moi, ya belle chérie, ya belle moi, ya belle chérie, ya belle chérie,
et belle moi,
belle chérie,
et belle chérie,
et belle chérie,
et belle moi,
ya belle chérie,
et belle chérie.
Aïe, c'est qui chante ces chansons. Aïe, c'est qui chante ces chansons. C'est Romeo.
on dansait jusqu'à fatiguer. Aujourd'hui c'est aujourd'hui. Mais moi je dis,
Tout le monde. Everybody. Aïe, 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 aïe. Everybody. Aïe, le barrio. Aïe, 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 aïe. Bayakari.
Bausa nyini ngana iko kanini,
Anyeleke ngana,
nyini ngana iko kanini,
anyeleke ngana,
bausa nyini ngana iko kanini,
anyeleke ngana,
nyini ngana iko kanini,
anyeleke ngana, anyeleke ngana, anyeleke ngana, anyeleke ngana, anyeleke ngana,
bausa nyini ngana iko kanini,
anyeleke ngana,
bausa nyini ngana iko kanini,
anyeleke ngana, anyeleke ngana, anyeleke ngana, anyeleke ngana, anyeleke ngana, anyeleke ngana.
Reverend Samson Amaya, Reverend Amunda Joseph, Evangelist James Mabia, Bukai Nolo, because it is not a sin to protect our culture. Yabenga yaleo, Yamuda Besemayo Rikabo, Amasa Kwasuza, Ashanti Baby, Kata Mulema, Amabiongela Berumbani, Ekisunda Suwa Sedo Minana.
Eva,
mariba ngoro maenga nowa kamange mariba ngoro maenga nowa kamange mariba wenga nowa kamange mariba wenga nowa kamange mariba
ya panjamene
ya sume one boy Romeo
ya pasangomo
Aise
kuwana ngoma
Moses
sakani komani
ya sume
sakani
ya sume
komani sakani komani sakani
Mangome
yayo
Mangome
Mugotule
Mangome Mangome
Mugotule
Mangome
sakani
Mangome
kimani
Mangome Mangome Mangome
unauria
Mangome
unauria
Sango Lucas ya be na mesa pas mama ke ko fay mori minga difenda ngondo ke wengere he njaborie nabora kote nabora ifo me amanyanga o pombiru sakaba se kaka esumbu mbanya ndabo sakutaka buri bubandabo nibo sibasa kataka rumba ya yo mori minga baya o mawo ke tabo maroko
bongo
ota mori minga baya o mawo ke tabo maroko babo
bongo
ota mori minga baya o pe meke mati maboka
bongo
ondo ke wengere bere mukingari penda munonge toboro mori minga bari penda momo nengo ke yo tango pausi bokai bere boka bana bakpaki bokai riari ota mori mingambo baya o mawoke tabo maroko
bongo
ota mori mingambo baya o paneke mati mamboka
bongo
ota mori mingambo baya o paneke mati mamboka babo
bongo
Ingolo inarokinya
wawose
kule baboroko wawose
wawose
boroko basuwaka wawose
wawose
ingolo inarokinya wawose boroko basuwaka wawose ingolo inarokinya wawose yayo uri mu munengo ndoke wondoke toboro wawose ingolo inarokinya wawose boroko basuwaka wawose ekundana bangai okaikoe mboka banae okaibe mabakie yole kakani wawose imotale ingolo inarokinya wawose boroko basuwaka wawose yayo ondoko ibere moko mosebato mbite tombie
mongo mosebato
ama moko mosebato mbite tombie
mongo mosebato
mbite tombie
mongo mosebato
mbite tombie
mongo mosebato
yeye mbite tombie
mongo mosebato
imongo ya mbite tombie
mongo mosebato
oba mbite tombie
mongo mosebato
mbite tombie
mongo mosebato
yayo umani
mongo mosebato
oerabe panjwanerierabe panjwanerierabe konde manjwanerierabe erabe yabokomerabe mamanjwanerierabe imosongo manjwanerierabe omao manjwanerierabe ho erabokome ho erabe manjwanerierabe yayo ebuka Yayo, oso so 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 so. Ha ha ha. Wairo. Yeah.
Mama wa bete mojango mawetule bebe kip mokete
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow televiewers. You are welcome to The Horizon, the voice of the Ambazonian woman on the ABC Amber TV. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are all over the globe, sympathizers, friends of Ambazonia. Your favorite show is here again, The Horizon, where the Ambazonian women bring up their voices in one packet and they leashed it on Friday today at this point. You're all welcome and we want to appreciate each and every one of you to be sitting tight and listening to us. Today we are still going to be talking about education. Education never ends, from babies to even going to our graves. We keep learning, we keep sharing, we keep encouraging. Today we will continue with the topic on vocational and technical training. We have guests in the house, we have sisters who will be coming online, panelists who will be talking to you right here. And before we do that, the ABC crew, we thank you for having us again on board. We are happy to work with you. Ambazonia is a country we are all fighting for. The topics and the themes we come on Ambazonia is worth fighting for. We welcome you again. We appreciate you. We are here because you are out there. You are out there because we are here. Thank you for your participation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be an interactive show today. The telephone lines will be open. You can call from ground zero, from ground one. You can call from the Americas, from Europe, from Asia. You can call everywhere, chip in your points, your suggestions, your consents. Ambazonia is not for one person, it's for 8 million of us. And wherever we are, it is our responsibility, it is our duty to give what we have and to share what we have. Thank you very much. And before I continue, I will want to say our drafting is continuing. All roads lead to Ndian this Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, the woman, the draft is going to the First Lady of Ambazonia, our wife of President Dr. Sako Ikome. She comes from Dian. We are going to visit her. She is drafting. The women of Ambazonia are calling every one of us who have been in every draft sessions in all the counties to line, to rally, to queue behind our First Lady, and we together make Ndian proud. Lady Marianta is here with us. She is also from Dian. We are going to make her proud. Ladies and gentlemen, without taking much of our time, I will call my panelists. I am the humble host, Rachel Itatima. I'm going to call on Lady Marianta, who is going to talk to us a little bit on the draft as well as a woman, and to contribute on the topic we are to discuss today. Lady Marianta, you are welcome.
Thank you so much. Greetings, Marashel. Greetings, fellow panelists. Greetings to all Ambazonians, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us again today. It's a real pleasure to be with you. So, yes, as you know, I'm from Dian County, and it's our week to draft. It's a weekend for our draft. I would like to talk about this draft as a woman. We know that women are the carers of the village, not just for our family, we take care of the community. So, as a woman appealing to other women, seeking for help to help the other women who are in less privileged positions. And there's so many women that are internally displaced. Some of them are pregnant, some of them are nursing mothers, some of them just haven't got the medication that they need. And let's not even to mention what they need on a monthly basis. You know what I mean? Uh, our heart goes out to all those women all over Amazonia, not just Indian, not just the internally displaced people of Indian. And today, Rachel, if you don't mind, I really want us to talk about the importance of knowing who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, then there's nothing else, because education starts from knowing your identity. And I want all women, wherever they are, to really connect with their identity. All Indian women, wherever you are in the diaspora, connect with your identity. Know who you are. Know that there are a lot of people that are relying on you. And your job as a mother, with the compassion that you have in your heart, you cannot sit by your comfortable homes in America or in Canada or UK, wherever you are, Europe, Asia, wherever, it is not right. It is not fair. And if you really dig deep down into your heart, your soul will tell you that you have to do something. You can't sit by and not get drafted, because drafting will mean that you're taking care of those children. It's showing you're not thinking just about yourself. You're doing your role as a universal mother. You're not a mother just to the children that you gave birth to. You're a mother to all the children in the villages who are suffering. We already know that those children are so disadvantaged. Some of them have lost their parents. Some of them even lost both parents, uncles, aunties. They are displaced. They don't even know where they are. So please, I'm appealing to you as a mother, as a sister, to think about, if you've been sitting on the fence, please know who you are, where you come from. Know that other people need you and rely upon you. So please, you need to get drafted. And the men, equally, you're not going to escape from this, because you're supposed to be the protectors. How do you protect your Indian families if you don't get
Marianta,
drafted? Get drafted.
Can I just
Yes,
come in? Yes, you will
sure.
bear with us that we are into our time and we have to keep watch on the clock as well. Please, let me just bring in the next panelist. We will, in the course of the program, bring in men and each one of us. Thank you. At this point in time, we're going to bring in Lady Iona, our sister. She was here with us one of our sessions. She's here to talk to us again concerning the vocational and technical training, the relationships and where women come in, and how Ambazonia should stand up to defend and take back the technical phase of education that was squeezed out of them. Lady Iona, you're welcome.
Oh, thank you so much for having me back on the show again. I really appreciate the opportunity to share on this platform. It's a real honor. Thank you.
Yes, I am equally happy, and I believe our ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians out there, are very happy to have you again on the show, especially on this topic of vocational and technical education. You have information you will love to share with us, and we appreciate you for being on board. I will just continue with you, Lady Iona, that you talk to us um, as a woman, as a wife of an Ambazonia, as a lady, as an Ambazonian wife who is defending the cause in Ambazonia, who is standing tall, visiting institutions to make sure that the cry of Ambazonia is heard. And you did not take long to say, I would love to come and talk to my family, to my people, the importance of vocational training. In your perspective, you have been to Cameroon, you've been to Ambazonia, you were married to an Ambazonia, I beg your pardon. Can I just
Hmm.
go and ask you, as a lady, what do you think you can talk about vocational education?
Thank you, Rachel. I find this conversation extremely exciting. This topic is really great because I just really see that the future of education. I know Horizon is a show that covers a lot of themes, and I know that whilst we're on vocational, we pull other themes while we're talking. But at the same time, like specifically on vocational training, being such an important backbone to the economy, and then the part that women can play in society in a reflection of a healthy economy. So that's why I'm excited, because having been there and having met women there, I can hear music. Okay, that's better. And having been there, the women, I just really felt at home, such wise, smart, capable women, and also in the diaspora. So, making it short, I really, really am excited about the future of Ambazonia through the backbone of vocal training because of the quality of the people that you have.
Yeah, thank you. That is very appreciative. Our sister is emphasizing that most times we think the vocational training goes out there just for men, but women equally build instrumental stakeholders in the building of homes and nations. Yeah, thank you very much, Lady Iona. I would just go back to Lady Marianta, who was ready to bring in men in everything they are doing. And let her, Lady Marianta, can you just continue to tell us the role you were talking of men taking their responsibilities in drafting, that we want to highlight on the focus of education, technical and vocational education. Can you just blend that together? Thank you.
Thank you, Marashel. Yes. So we know that traditionally men have been regarded as the protectors of the family, the people to provide all those traditional stereotypical roles. Sometimes, though, we challenge them. I would like to say to them that, you know what? times are changing. Women also can do that. So their daughters need to be educated. They need to understand that their daughters have a right to that education so that their daughters can be doctors, lawyers, solicitors, teachers, whatever they want. Okay. So, but I really want to focus on the role of men as protectors. Why do I say that? Because in your home, if there's, I don't know, the doorbell rings at midnight, it's the man, the father that usually goes to check whether you're safe or not, and they tell everybody else to wait behind, and they go check it out. That's just a natural instinct. That's a natural instinct that we follow. But in this situation here now, the situation where we find ourselves, um, these men, our husbands, our fathers, our uncles, our brothers, our everything's men, you need to protect those vulnerable people back in Ambazonia. Look at look at how wonderful these children are coping. They're coping so well, they're trying their best despite the adversities that they're facing. So I am talking to the men outside of Ambazonia, the men in the diaspora. What are you doing? What are you doing to make sure that those children can be protected? What are you doing to make sure that those women are protected? Some of those women are raped, and those women can be your sisters, they can be your auntie, they could be your parents, God forbid. And all those atrocities being, some of the children being killed in front of their mothers, children witnessing all those sort of atrocities. Is that the kind of life that you want your family members to have? No, the answer is simply no. So if you are a son from Dian and you have not drafted yourself, you've still got a bit of time. Starting from now, please do the right thing. You have seen the advert, you've seen the numbers that you can contact. You need to contact us and get drafted in. You need to be counted in those numbers. You need to play your role. You can't go down there directly to protect those people. No, you cannot. We can't travel because of COVID-19, even if you wanted to. But the least that you can do is to make sure that the people that have sacrificed themselves to protect them back on ground zero have the resources to do that. That they have the food, they have the medical needs that they require to make sure that those women and those children are safe away from the La Republic soldiers and their properties. So many villages have been burned down. So many people have been killed. What is it going to take if you have not already gotten onto the train? What is it going to take for you to realize that you need to do the right thing? It is your responsibility. Protect your people. And if you have been to school in Dian or you've worked there, you have formed relationships with those people. And I know that you have a place in your heart for those people. So can you also equally come up and support the Indian people on Sunday, the 5th of July? We have to do this together. Amazonia is for all of us. Indian is for all of us. The resources and the work for Indian is for all Ambazonians. Marasha, earlier on when I was talking about knowing who you are, it's about knowing really where you come from, who you really truly are in your hearts of hearts, so that you can stand up tall and do the right things. And
Thank you.
Diana, you need to know who you are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, I know we are wondering that we're not supposed to be talking of vocational and technical training. Yes, that is very true. We are here also to beg your indulgence with us that sometimes we get sensitive with some information, emotional that we really want to pass across, while at the same time blending with what we have for you today. Without taking much of our time, fellow viewers, I would just like to call our sister who has always been with us through this journey on the horizon, Mamiri, to talk to us about the topic of today, the major topic, vocational and technical training. Mamiri, can you hear me? Please, can you share with Ambazonian sympathizers and well-wishers of Ambazonia how important, what is vocational and technical training, how it can be, what impact it can create to a nation like Ambazonia? Can you just talk to the Ambazonian people? The floor is yours.
Thank you, Marasha, once more for having me on the program. Just to say thank you to our fellow listeners and all on Ground Zero and on Ground. I would like to begin the show today from my end by quoting an excerpt of what I read from somebody on Ground Zero. Can you get me? Are you hearing?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I will start by quoting somebody, a son of the soil, he names himself. He says, I just read something that actually struck me and I thought I should share it with our fellow listeners and viewers today. So he wrote, their soldiers are on the field and they are determined to win. They are killing us, raping our girls, our mothers, and our daughters. They are maiming, massacring, shooting, extorting, destroying, and butchering our people. They are arsoning our homes. We haven't got where to stay. Taking pleasure in seeing us cry, using our own brothers to betray us, laughing at us, considering us, squeezing the crumbs the elite politicians receive from the rogue regime, making a mockery of the so-called elites who watch and share videos of their rape sisters' demise. Don't be deceived. These evil perpetrators are completely focused in their goals So why shouldn't we kick them out? Period. When I read this, it just came back to me the picture of what our people are going through. You know, when you read this kind of thing on a daily basis, this is written by someone from Ground Zero, and then you think, what are we missing out here? What are we not getting right? This is continuous torture of our people. Our children still haven't been going to school. We don't even know exactly where we stand at this point. But the only thing we know how to do is come out with a program that we can console ourselves and say, this battle is not ended yet. It's not finished. We have to keep fighting because the goals of the only way to get out of this kind of situation is to develop a way, a program that at the end we will find ourselves victorious. And this is vocational education is one of those means by which we have to develop as a good strategy for us to say to our people who have suffered, as a good way of bringing our people together, as a good way of developing our people and developing our economy. So when I read this, I just said to myself, what a shame that our people have to endure and go through all of this. So vocational education, as I will say, is one of those things that will sort of get us involved in our development when the time is right. And what is it all about? It is a program-based study or a course or a practical training offered by a trade school, technical institute, or a vocational college leading directly to career opportunities in a given field. What do we mean by this? We mean that it is when you go to school, when you say you are going to school and you're going to a vocational college, you're going to learn things that you use your hands, that you will perform in the end to bring out income for yourself, to work to help the economy, to help to develop the people around you, to help to develop the country in which we are trying to build. So vocational education is an important. Many people will be asking, how is it different from other sorts of education? It is very, very different, because the other form of education, which we took 4 weeks, elaborate and analyzing to our people, mainly had to do with qualifications, numeracy, and things. But this one has to do with work. The easiest way to put it is that vocational education, otherwise, is known as education for work. Education that enables you to work. Whatever you do, whatever Ambazonia you are looking at bringing or developing tomorrow, you have to come up with a sort of vocational training so that you will be able to work in that society, so that we'll be able to develop our economy, not as one person, not as a privileged society, but we will be able to take even those who are slow to progress, even those who haven't achieved the normal, the regular education, they can even fit in vocational education in various forms. So what we are saying is that with vocational education, everybody is involved, and everybody, it takes us right through. It is not just something that is good for some people and not for others. It does not have what they'll call, it doesn't have a dead end, or who the sad as our people on the other side will call. Because once you are involved with anything that has to do with your hand, you will have to earn a living. You have to develop yourself. You have to earn a living for yourself and your family.
Okay.
And by so doing, develop the economy.
Yeah.
So vocational training, people will be asking, what kind of thing does this constitute? It means everything that you can do to earn a living. It means things like construction, things like welding, things like policing, arts and fashion, computer, software, engineering, cooking, sewing, business and marketing, and so on and so forth, agriculture, and everything that we do as a people. These are the things that we call vocational education.
Mary,
Yes.
thank you very much for that elaborate explanation, and thank you for the first half of your intervention. You see, when Lady Marianta started with the cry of knowing whom you are, reminding our fellow Ambazonians of the plight of our people, how necessary it is for us to draft so we could support our people. Everything is in conjunction with what we are saying, what you do with your hands, as you just outrightly say, building a nation together. Ladies and gentlemen, you will follow up with us that we are blending whom you are, blending with the vocational training, because you should know your personality and know whom you are, and you know the nation where you come from, how you want it to be, and how you can contribute. I will next call our sister Lady Iona to talk to us. How is vocational training now an integral part of a nation, especially the new one? Ambazonia is really going to start from somewhere. So this is your base of study. This is your jurisdiction, and putting side by side what you know. How do you think? How can you support the fact that it is really an integral part of nation building? Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to combine the two answers that have already gone before the two sisters about the identity and the economy. And these two parts really do come together. So I really want to emphasize that. But I also want to emphasize, and I speak only predominantly from Australia, and I have lived in Europe for many years in Germany, and I have seen the system over there, is really the integration of what it is. And I have seen that there is the perception that university degrees, they are really not the drivers of the economy. And it's important to have those universities, but it really is like the other sister just explained, that we need those extra curriculum programs to be a part of the economy. She went through a list of things that you don't necessarily go to university. And she also mentioned that it's a phase where you come in and you come out. So I know today in the Australian system is that you could be a CEO of a engineering company, but you will still go off to vocational training and education programs to improve your skills, whether it be that you are an engineer, but you need to possess people skills and management skills and financial skills to be able to do a better job. So it really is not just a place that people would go here, like I'm speaking from Australia now, is that it's not just a place where you go because you had probably not done well at school. It rather is, it's a central hub of improvement. And I've also seen, like, particularly in Australia, we're very unique that we haven't really copied systems from overseas. We've kind of, we've had a look at our economy, we've seen what the demand is, and then we've ran programs based on what those need and demand is. And we had a scenario not too long ago, probably about the last 4 years, where the government was actually considering and creating policies that would take that hub and that place of improvement away and substituting it by going back with the university system. And this created a really strong conversation in Australia about what we're doing with vocational. So we've had this conversation in Australia already, and that also reflected on the market as well. We started to see businesses all of a sudden boom with vocational therapy. They did really well. And then 4 years later, because vocational education didn't progress with some companies, billion-dollar companies just overnight went like that because they didn't mold and offer and weren't sensitive to what the economy was. There was a report that was done in Switzerland in 2018 where they wanted to measure the quality of vocational education training. And what they found, it wasn't actually the curriculum that was important. They found that it was actually the relationship between education and the employment, so the economy. And this, what they called, was a linkage. And the power of those two linkage had everything to do with the outcome. And they measured the outcome mostly in employment, but they also measured it in other areas, so the quality, pay rise, and other things like that. But I want to go back onto the linkage part because it's not about creating a system of fancy curriculum. It's what the sister said before, is having a look at what the demand is in the country and then pairing that with the identity of what Mariana said, so that you're actually creating relevant, unique, vocational training and education for what your current country needs at that time. And it has to be able to evolve and change with time, because that's exactly what we are right now. We're in a very exponential time where we are in society with technology. And so that's my little input, is just to be really specific around the quality of the vocational training, which I think is fantastic because you have the most amazing people. The diaspora has been very colorful across the world, the amount of skills that people are coming, but not just people who have gone and created these skills who can go back home and provide brothers and sisters on ground zero, but it's also the people on ground zero who have that knowledge. Those people who know the land, those people who understand the production of what the companies are doing already and what farms are doing, and people on ground zero who are already seeing the gap and what is needed. And so going back to the report that was done in Switzerland, that's exactly what it is. It's the two systems working together. It's having a look at the education and having a look at the employment and making sure that they work together to make a very current and valid program. I'll just wind up with there if the other sisters want to contribute, but there's plenty more that I could contribute as well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Now I am going to call our other panelist who is going to be coming in via telephone. He's going to talk to us, contribute to us what his experience with Ground Zero, what he can tell us of the those vocational institutions that we had in then Southern Cameroon or present day Ambazonia, how it could have moved us further if our enemy did not squeeze everything out from us. Brother Baron, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you 5 on 5.
Okay, please, can you talk to the Ambazonian people? Share with us your experience of those different schools and institutions that you know that could have really taken Ambazonia had it not been for what is happening to us today. Yes. Hello? Please, can you just turn off one of your devices, please? Turn off your telly or your laptop or something.
Yeah.
Please, thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. All the faces I see on this platform, I greet all of you. I know all of you. And I want to appreciate you guys for a job well done. I've been following up. I don't know if you hear me. Do you hear me?
I do.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I would like to digress a little bit before I go to the topic of today. I just want to remind the people of Jam, please, Sunday is coming up. Let's stand up for Jan, and we all must understand that Jan is a heartbeat of Ambazonia. That is why you find the largest military camp is situated there. Jan is the treasurer for La Republic and its petroleum partners, and we must fight hard to disconnect them from Jan. We have to disconnect them. So this Sunday, please, for those in Jan who are sleeping or hanging around the fence, please, we have to join our lady, Marianta, Kudablins, and many other patriots from there to support Jan County and make sure we liberate our people.
Thank you.
So we are going to discuss. I've been following up your programs. I think the Horizon is a very, didactic program when it comes to discussing issues of technical education and vocational training in Ambazonia. And when we talk about Horizon, with the respect to this particular topic, is to tell Ambazonians what is looming, what is about to happen in the new Ambazonia that we are fighting for. What kind of education that we are going to dish out to our kids, to our women, to our men, to our youth. Yeah. So far, there is no development without vocational training or technical education. Why? Because the foundation of every development lies in the education that we acquire from school at technical levels and even secondary levels or grammar, what we have been taught. So if you go to define development from what I learned in school, there are two strands in defining development. There are two strands. You're looking at the qualitative aspect of development, which is the knowledge or the capacity that the capacity building that is being impacted on us while we are in school. And then looking at the quantitative aspect is on how we translate this knowledge that has been given us in school, how we translate them into action. That is into projects, our programs like road construction, housing, hospital, railways, and so on. So we see that for us to be able to maintain or to acquire or achieve sustainable development, we must make sure we consider technical education as the bedrock for us to build on. Very, very important. And this is the reason why La Republic of Cameroon didn't want it to happen in AMBAZONIA. La Republic of Cameroon are fighting hard to destroy our technical education, destroy our technical institutions. That is all through these manipulations that started from 1961 right up to today. If you look at the history of Southern Cameroon, basically from Southwest where I grew up, we used to have vocational trade schools like vocational, with first technical college, which was also based in Moyoka. We also have one in Ombe. These schools were preparing us the kind of engineer that today I can say that AMBAZONIA will be one of the most developed countries in Africa. But because of the vision that our forefathers had for our country, the PR regime didn't want to see us through. They started destroying our educational system. Basically, from scratch, they started with vocals, fairs, and Ombe, all the schools were crushed. And today, our youth are there riding Benzigin, riding Okada up and down, So we can understand from what is happening, what is displaying right now in our territory, that La Republic didn't mean well for us. They tried to flatter us with some fake institutions like SAR, with no equipment, very poorly equipped workshops, and with a 2-year training where people could not even come out as professionals. They took time to destroy our public works department, leaving our parents jobless, hopeless, and frustrated. Many of them have died. In short, all the work public in our territory is to destroy our technical know-how, to destroy our vision, and to make us uninnovative. Because they know that if we are empowered in this direction, we would have been gone maybe many, many years behind. So today we are fighting for a country that will reinstate the kind of education that we have here in Europe, where people are given the capacities to make themselves or to be able to make themselves useful in nation building. Yeah. So this is the contribution that I want to make.
Yeah.
The new AMBAZONIA, the educationists should be able to build scenarios, should go to work right away, make scenarios that will bring us the education that will transform our country within the shortest time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, fellow comrades. I remember in our discussion, there were some important persons you mentioned that used to be contractors, those who used to be those water and electricity projects. With if we still have time, I'm still going to call you. You should be able, by your own self, talk to the Ambazonian people.
Yes, let me just throw light on that. Let me just throw out because of the
Marashel.
Can I just call you? Can I call you? Can I call you and you will come again on the second phase? Let me be able to talk to the people in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow televiewers, bear with us that some of our panelists are coming via phone. This is because we understand some dynamics. You will bear with us, and at this point, we will continue with our panelists in the studio to continue buttress with us on vocational training Mama Marianta was calling out there. I will also let her talk to the Ambazonian people what it means to what she has for the Ambazonian people as far as the vocational training is concerned. Thank you, Lady Marianta.
Thank you so much. Yes, I think the last speaker spoke so well. I just want to add to what he was saying. Um, and this idea of how we want Ambazonia to be, the Ambazonia that we're fighting for, what is it? It's really important that we make the connection between the quality of the Ambazonia that we're fighting for with the thoughts that we're thinking. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your thoughts. I want that everybody to just meditate on that statement. The quality of life is determined by the quality of your thoughts. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that the Ambazonia that we're fighting for, we need to think about how we cater for all students, all the children, because historically we have found, not just in all over the world, in the UK where I am, in Australia, like Lady Iona was saying, and in all European countries as well, that the that actually the standard that was being provided for the students was not meeting the needs of all the students. It was not meeting the needs of the skills, the qualities that were needed by industries, the jobs that some of those children and students moved on to after graduation. They were not well prepared for that. And we, as Ambazonians, we need to learn from all these mistakes, and we need to be about 10 steps ahead of all of that. So the quality of life that we want for our Ambazonian families should start from how we're thinking about putting together. So on that note, I want to just share a little bit of progress with our people. The education department of our interim government has been working so tirelessly, and we are in the process of opening a university of technology, okay, which will provide all these opportunities for our students when there is safe for students to go back to school. Because remember from previous shows, we have begged UNESCO and their partners to make sure that we have safe zones for children to go to educate to get an education. So this technical university is going to provide the students with opportunities to carry out courses in all these different sectors that we have mentioned. Okay. So, wow. So technical, vocational, these words that we use interchangeably, as Ma Marie said earlier on, pertains to education that leads young people into specific jobs, whereby they are well trained for with the knowledge and the skills that are needed to carry out those jobs properly. Why is it important? I think earlier on she already mentioned something to do with the economy. We've been talking about vocational studies and the economy. Yes, of course. Like I said, academics is not the route for everyone because many people are gifted in different ways. They are gifted, maybe gifted in tailoring, so they have to obviously be trained to be the best seamstress that they can possibly be. They have to be given those opportunities, or the best plumber that they can possibly be. Everybody has the passion to become a doctor or a or whatever. You know, people have different callings. That's why it's a vocation. That's why it's vocational, because that's what they have been called to do. And when you are called to do something, you do it with so much love and passion. It's at the end, it doesn't feel like it's a job because you're doing that job joyfully. Now, the importance of this vocational education or the vocational studies or the university that we are developing is that it addresses social equity and inclusion. Why should some students be left because they are not um, they are not that much into maths or chemistry or physics, whatever, you know? We need to think about being so inclusiveness, and we have seen from what Lady Iona said that sustainability is key. They have seen in Australia that having those vocational opportunities in place, like those institutions too nice and carried out properly by their government, has been of huge benefit to their economy. So for us Ambazonians, we are hearing, when we hear we on board, we need to take notes. We have to learn from other people. How is it that Australia did that so successfully? But look at us.
Lady
If I go back to
Maranta, can I just come in?
let me Rochelle.
Come on.
We
Yeah, can
have
I
oil
just come
wells.
in?
We know that we have palm oil. We know that we have the seed. We have plantations. How do we empower those children who have interest in different areas to best that they can be for their communities? That is something to be very proud of, and we have to do that for, by providing the
Yeah, Lady
opportunities.
Maranta, can I just come in here? Can I just
Sure.
come in here? You see, what we are talking about here is amongst all the opportunities that Ambazonia has, with the oil fields, with the waterfalls, with the technical know-how, the human resources, despite all this, they haven't been taken into consideration. Do you think it is worth the while for the Ambazonians out there to go to be ready to even face the genocide in order that they should keep up to standards with countries like Australia, with the European countries, with America? That is what we want to let our people know, that in as much as we have been squeezed on the neck, that, you know, when your partner knows that this is good for you and he says, no, you will not have it, what do? You have to do something to be able to live up to that standard. And thank you very much. I see Ma Mary is itching to say something. Please, we are having some minutes to go. Let's just talk 3 minutes so we do not run over our time. Thank you. Ma Mary, is there anything you want to contribute so far to let the Ambazonian people know that the opportunities they have could is a factor for them to push as hard as they can push, so that no one will push them around? Thank you.
Yes, Maraj, if just to add to what the previous speakers have said, I would like to say that when we talk of vocational education, it does not necessarily mean just formal education in school and things. We have other forms of this kind of education.
Okay.
One is apprenticeship. We have to learn from other people, you know, people who have established their businesses. It's easier to send a child to learn from somebody who already has a business, who they learn from there. That's what they call apprenticeship. You learn from that person. And by learning from that person, you acquire the skills automatically. And after that, you can self-employ and then you help yourself. So that's another form of vocational education. We're talking from this perspective of things like, if you're a carpenter, you can do apprenticeship, welding, you can become an apprentice, a seamstress, a tailor, and all of that. Agriculture, you have to learn to become all of these things. So it's not like people think it's just learning in class and going to technical institutions. No, you can learn by becoming an apprentice. That is still vocational education. Another way of learning is by mentoring. You have somebody who passes down the knowledge to you by mentoring you, by telling you the techniques of the trade. So you learn through various ways. We are not going to leave out some people because we are trying to build, as Lady Maranta said, an inclusive society. So we take along even the slow learners. whatever way we see deem necessary for them, we will take them along. So everybody can have something to contribute in the society through vocational studies. Mentoring, as we say, is one of them. We can do, nowadays, there is online studies. You can learn online of how to do so many things. We learn online how to produce things, how to make drinks, how to do several things. So these are all things that could earn you a living, and it's all called vocational. If it becomes something that you do to earn a living, it becomes a trade and vocation.
Okay.
Another way of doing this is by self-discovery. When you're already in a trade, maybe you are a teacher, like I sell a lot of things. I sell clothes, I do things. I could end up having a business of my own that has got nothing to do with teaching. That's still vocation. You learn by discovering along the way. Now you're playing an instrument and then you become a musician. If you are, let's say, a teacher or you're a carpenter or a builder or something, and then you have your instrument, your piano or whatever instrument you're playing, and you become so efficient and proficient in it, you can then become you can then use that as a vocation, because that's what will earn you a living. So vocation.
Mary, can I interject you here?
Yes.
I recollect last time our learned Dr. Amungwa was here with us, and in the course of the discussion, it was made mention that it is proper for individuals to learn a vocation, learn a trade, and for the Ambazonia that we are fighting for, like in most other nations, you could be registered in a board. What then if we now say you just go and do this and do that? Where do we place the board? Isn't it a structural system is to be put in place so everyone should not be forgotten, as we just said?
Yes, Ma Rachel, that is very right. For now, that is another topic for another day.
Okay.
There are many stakeholders involved in this.
Okay.
You see, so if you have to have a proper way of letting, as I said, there is no dead end. If there is no dead end, it means that whenever you train, you will automatically be placed in the market.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
When
Thank
you
you,
are
Mami.
you have to make policies that will keep people out of this. Policies that will be appropriate for everybody training.
Yeah.
Policies
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
all of those things we might be handling in the next program.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary. I'll just go back to Lady Iona. In the course of discussion, I have been able to pick that you said in Australia the vocational training enables good nation building, and it gives people the opportunity to be able to connect to other responsibilities, especially with women at home doing the homework. And how can you correlate this and talk to the Ambazonian people what you really meant? Thank you.
Marisha, thank you for the question. Okay, so from a kingdom perspective, the kingdom of God, we are living in a post-resurrection time, and it means that Jesus is coming back, and we have been given the task to preach the gospel of the kingdom. Wait for it. I'll tell you how this relates to vocational education. So we've been given the task to preach the gospel of the kingdom, and that can be done through testimony, as Jesus speaks about in Matthew 24:14. And according to Matthew 25:14, Jesus is coming back for nations, and he's coming back for sheep nations. A sheep nation is a nation of people who will make it their mission to take care of its people and create a culture where everyone is going to prosper. And just remember Jesus's words, I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you took me in. I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me, and I was in prison and you visited me. And for that to happen, you're going to need a culture that bases its economy not on greed and power, but on an economy that thrives because it's improving people's lives. And this is why quality vocational education and training programs plays an essential part in Ambazonia's future and like now beyond. And the Ambazonia that you are fighting for, I just want to say to everyone out, all the women out there, that, and men and women, that there is a place for you and your country needs you. Particularly to women, just read Proverbs 31. I just want to say that you are needed for the future of building Ambazonia. Why? If you read about Proverbs 31, I don't remember everything off the top of my mind. She was a chef, she was a vintner, she was a laborer, she was a seamstress, she was a spinner, she was a volunteer, she was a philanthropist, and she was an entrepreneur. And I know for the fact that right now there is a purpose of why we're on this planet, otherwise we wouldn't be here. And there is a future for Ambazonia, and there is a place for everyone. I remember as a little girl when I was great at school, but there were some things I wasn't great at. And my teacher pulled me aside and she said to me that the education system right now in Australia, that was back then, it's like there is a person who is doing the exams and they have, let's say, 10 animals and they all have to pass the exam. So the exam is to climb a tree. So the elephant looks at the tree and says, oh, that's not for me. The monkey looks at the tree and says, oh, I can pass that. And the zebra looks at the tree and says, oh, that's impossible. So I just want to say that while school is extremely important, that's where you get your vocational education come in, because that's how the economy ties everybody in so that nobody misses out. And you might want to ask, when did the Bible have anything to do with the economy? And just like I said before, when Jesus was saying I was hungry, there is something that you have that you can give. There is a skill, there is a passion, and there is something probably inside of somebody on ground zero, like an invention that we don't even know of yet. And we need systems, programs, and everything we need to make sure that the future that you're fighting for now, but, you know, there will come a day where Ambazonia is not fighting. You're coming from a place of creativity, and you're going to need the backbone of a program like vocational education therapy to do that. And there's a specific place for that universities don't do. So I think I just wanted to reiterate, if you don't know why you were created, I just want to say God's got a purpose for you, and he'll make sure that you receive all the training and the experience that you need. So whether you are from, like, for example, when you talk about vocational therapy education, you've got students all the way up to teachers. So I'm calling all teachers, all tradespeople, all entrepreneurs. You've all been called to contribute to society. If Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia wanted to, it could have its own unique vocational training and education program that operates with a greater purpose. It's not just about bringing employment. That's what other countries do around the world, because the employment is great. However, if you look at some of the economies and the way things are going, there's powder. I just want to round up and say it can go beyond employment, and Ambazonia could show the world through testimony that the way that you approach the trades will be how your economy is, and your economy will take care of the people and take away the suffering that you've had all these years.
Thank you, Lady Iona. Thank you very much. Before now, our brother was talking. He wanted to contribute to us, following what Lady Iona just said now, that the nation, people contribute to build that nation. Every opportunity, everyone is called up to some calling to contribute to nation building. Our brother here has something to tell us, how if an enemy wants to destroy you, it destroys even your nation. So, Brother Baron, can you talk to us? Can you outline some of those things that you think have been taken away from us? Can you just talk let us know?
Before I will comment, I want to say that we should underline the fact that vocational training and technical education is the foundation for sustainable development. That one is a fact that all of us must accommodate. And when we talk about sustainable development, it's a system that keeps updating itself, keep renewing itself at a constant progression. A system of development that does not stop. It is a constant progress and it updates itself. This is not the case in Southern Cameroon. Yes. Why? Because they didn't give us the capacity or the opportunity for us to be impacted with that knowledge that will keep us updating the system. We were frustrated when all our schools were crushed, all our technical plans. For example, in the Southwest, we have the Yoke electricity plant was destroyed. We have the technical schools that were destroyed. You know, with all these things destroyed, we didn't have the capacity to renew or to build on. You know, so my experience working with some technocrats in Southern Cameroon, for example, we met when I discussed with you last time. I talked about late Honorable Namata Iwanga. He was my supervisor in some of the projects that I was doing in Cameroon. He told me that our system has been destroyed. And in the late 80s, he was the only certified architect, English speaking in Cameroon. That is why in the contemporary Southern Cameroon today, if you go to construction site, you will find it difficult to understand the nomenclature of tools. All the tools that we use in construction, they have the francophone name. You know, so we have to make sure we disconnect ourselves from this kind of inheritance that we inherited from this people. We are going to disconnect ourselves. So the new Amazonia that we are going to build on must consider technical education, vocational training as the foundation for us to keep our development sustainable.
Thank you.
Last point I would like to make here.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was welcoming. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you for having you on the show. Thank you. I hope you keep listening till the end. Thank you very much. Yes, Lady Marianta, I will come back to you. Please, you heard our brother who has outlined. Ndian is the breadbasket with all the oil fields. Our brothers just said the nation should carry this technical and vocational foundation. What would you say what would you say to Ndian? What will you tell the Ambazonian people? How strong you want them to come out, for example, on Sunday, so that this heavy basket should be made worthy of what it is?
Okay, thank you, Marashel. Earlier on, I talked about the quality of your life by your thoughts. I'll go back to that because whilst we're sitting here, we have a great vision of the Ambazonia that we're fighting for in terms of the education that we want. Marashel, we have also talked about kind of health systems that we want. But here's the thing, here's the caveat. We cannot even bring these dreams into reality if we do not fight to liberate Ambazonia first. And for us to liberate Ambazonia, we have to go where La Republique is tying us down. And La Republique is tying us down because of Ndian, because of all the mineral resources, the oil, the palm oil, the everything, food, everything, plantations, everything, cocoa, coffee, everything is there. That's why La Republique is there. So I am telling you, if we want to liberate Ambazonia, we have to work together to liberate Ndian County. Every single person needs to take up their civic responsibility, because it is a civic responsibility. The responsibility that's geared towards liberating Ambazonia is as follows. Are you supporting the government's initiatives? Are you supporting the ABC that you're watching? We have an Amber club. Are you supporting to make sure that money can sustain this on air? Are you involved in this and your land areas? Do you go and have a say in the places where you grow up? 1 second. And how are you involved in this Ambazonia War Draft? The award, Ndian is coming up. If you've not been involved and you've been sitting, it's fine. It's not too late. This is a fresh start. Every day is a fresh start. Ndian County Award is coming up. Take the plunge. Be brave. Call us. Call me. Call any of us. Even call Rachel. Call Secretary Chris. Call anyone. I don't care who you call, but you need to reach out and start taking up. You need to step up and start taking up those civic responsibility. Because if we are successful in this Indian award, we'll be successful collectively as Ambazonians, and we stand a fighting chance of kicking La Republique out. La Republique will not go out of their own accord, because they're sucking the milk and honey.
Thank you, Lady Marianta.
So
I'm looking at the clock. Sorry. Lady Mary, one last word.
Yeah, just to say that as far as our topic is concerned, we can't say everything today because I've got a lot to say. And as the previous speaker, brother from Ground Zero just said, we cannot have sustainable economy without vocational and technical education. So we have stuck our feet on the ground, and we are saying that we are going to have an Ambazonia that will have vocational and technical education to its best, next to Switzerland, which is one of the best in the world. So we do everything that it takes to bring our people together, to empower this kind of education that will...
Mary, this is a last minute caller. Hello? Hello, yes. Oh, welcome, Ape. Welcome, mother of Ambazonian women. We are hearing your voice. Can you tell us something?
Yeah, greetings to everyone. I know you're about to round up, and I've been listening very keenly. And I just want to make this comment that in 1961, we were not given our independence because the British administrators claimed that we will not be a viable nation, that we didn't have all it takes to survive. And then recently, Cohen and Nagy also made similar statements. But let's be realistic. Look at all the wealth we have. We're talking about vocational training. Do you know how many jobs can come from all agriculture, healthcare, infrastructure, transportation, all vocational jobs, arts and music, mining and mineral engineering. So we have a lot of job opportunities, vocational jobs, that do not really need a lot of training. So I just wanted to give a word of hope to our people there that Ambazonia is going to be a great nation because we have the potential, we have everything going for us. Have a great show, my dear. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma Patience. Thank you. Time is not on our side. Thank you very much, Ma. Lady Iona, can you just drop in your last words before the minute ticks off?
Yeah, thanks so much again for having me on the show. I've really appreciated the quality of your guests tonight. It's just amazing. I love the contribution. I just want to go back on that, probably tie all the points together. We talked about identity, and we talked about like the playing field. We talked about people. We talked about freedom. And we've talked about, obviously, that it won't make any sense unless, you know, obviously Ambazonia is free. But I want to go into the future, and let's say, you know, we have vocational training education, programs are running, and we're measuring that by employment. And I can tell you right now that Australia has less than 5% employment. However, that does not necessarily correlate to the quality of life. So I want to say right now, as a seed, and plant it into this show and to those listening, that it is not just about employment. It goes beyond employment. And it's about the culture, and like what Lady Marianta said, it's about the culture and the identity. So vocational training education won't mean anything if there is no purpose behind the culture and the training. Because I don't know, like for here in Australia, you can go to vocational training, you can do really well. You can.
Thank you, Lady Iona. Thank you. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We're running
I'm
out of
so
time. No
sorry.
problem. God bless
We're running
everyone.
out
I'll see
of
you next
time. The
time.
minutes are ticking, and you know, ABC TV is a very busy platform. There's a next show coming
That's
up.
right.
The next panelist and the host needs to get
Yep.
ready. But for Horizon, I want to thank each and every one
That's
of
right.
you who made it possible, who made it a success today. You are wonderful ladies. This is the Ambazonian women, wives and mothers, daughters of Ambazonia, talking on ABC TV. ABC TV is an innovation. It's a technical work, and it will not run without your support. We need to sustain it. We need to sustain the satellite. We need to sustain the machines, the technical equipment. We need to sustain the logistics. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, we are supposed to be members of ABC Amber Club. Give our contribution so that you can continue watching this program. Many other programs on ABC TV. Secretary Chris, you know him wonderfully all the time, informative sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, all of our Lady K, we have our brothers who also come on board. We need to sustain, support, and maintain ABC TV. We need to sustain the nation of Ambazonia, your identity. Where is your LGA? Where is your county? You need to identify yourself. You need to identify your LGA, your county, by contributing your CID. This is where I come from. My parents come from here. My Nitong was buried in this place. I took my first birth. I was born in this hospital, ladies and gentlemen. You identify that with your county through your LGA, your CID. Please consult your LGA. Ladies and gentlemen, the draft is still going on. Ndian, all roads lead to Ndian, the oil field. If we want to see oil fields like in other nations coming out in Ndian, in Ambazonia, come out on Sunday, support and support like never before. Ndian, fellow Ambazonians from Ndian, come out and defend your county. There are no roads going to Ndian. Don't you ask yourself? There are no skyscrapers. There are no story buildings. Don't you ask yourself what is wrong? It is a challenge for you Ndian children to come out. As many Ambazonians will be coming out to support you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the horizon for today. Next week, Friday, is the other encore. You are still welcome to be with us. We are out here because you are there. Let's do this together and make Ambazonia proud. Let's do this together and push and have the Ambazonia that we want to have. Thank you very much. I have been your humble host, Maricha Itatima. Stay blessed. Till next time. Bye for now.